Hi, good morning. My name is Ribot, and this is my presentation from my class Contemporary Tax Topics. It is titled Spousal Lifetime Access Trust, or known as SLATs, Benefits, Risks, and IRS Scrutiny. Estate planning is a very important procedure for the people and families that aim at protecting their wealth, lessening taxes, and ensuring a smooth process of transferring wealth to the generations. To follow. Out of all the estate planning devices, the Spousal Lifetime Access Trust SLAT has been brought to the forefront because of the two capabilities of the trust to both take the assets of the taxable estate and yet provide indirect access to the assets to the beneficiary spouse. This tax efficiency and practical access have made SLATs imperative tool used by the high net worth individuals in the current federal transfer tax regime to plan state taxes. The need to plan ahead is worsened by the tax exception of the federal state and gift tax, which is expected to be reduced, and so SLATs will become more attractive to couples interested in acting before such changes in future tax rates increase in their tax liability. A SLAT allows one spouse to transfer property into an irrevocable trust to benefit the other spouse and the descendants, and to take these assets off the taxable estate of the grantor. Since the spouse beneficiary remains able to access trust distributions, the family will still be able to stay financially flexible and yet receive long-term advantage in terms of estate taxes. Benefits of SLAT in estate planning, estate tax reduction and avoidance. The key benefit of the SLAT has been their capacity to decrease the taxable estate of the grantor through the elimination of appreciation assets. By placing assets in a SLAT prior to substantial growth, the taxpayers may secure the amount of the current gift tax exemption, thus protecting the future growth which will be taxed at the state tax rate. This rule is mainly useful in the event of a possible reduction in the exemption amount. Indeed, Eckers and NIP 2024 emphasize the urgency with which many families should take action before upcoming federal sunset provisions become law, and SLAT timely planning approaches. Therefore, SLATs are useful in long-term wealth preservation through minimal taxable estate and maximum growth of wealth tax-free, income, stability, and tax efficiency. The SLATs are designed in such a way that they retain financial sustenance for the spouse who is not a grantor by control distributions. Such distributions guarantee the continuation of income although the ownership of the asset is transferred to the trust. Project 2024 argues that this twofold advantage of simultaneous protection of assets and maintaining access to funds make SLAT one of the most flexible tools in the family that should have flexibility in addition to tax efficiency. Besides, in case the trust is a grantor trust, payment of tax by the grantor serves as another tax-free contribution to the trust. Morrow III, 2024 underlines that this structure offers a high level of tax efficiency, since the trust funds can be left to grow tax-free, which leads to a large long-term benefit. Although SLATs are valuable tools, they come with important risks. One major risk is the reciprocal trust doctrine, which can apply when spouses create similar trusts for each other. If triggered, the IRS may include the trust assets back into the taxable estate. The IRS has also increased audit of complex trusts, especially where grantors retain too much control. Access to trust assets is indirect and may be lost if the beneficiary spouse dies or becomes incapacitated. Poorly drafted trust documents can further increase legal and tax exposure, making careful professional planning essential. Best practices and planning strategies. Draft trust with clear differences. Use independent trustees when possible. Avoid mirror trust structures. Maintain detailed financial records. Review trust periodically. Plan for future tax law changes. Thank you for allowing me to do this presentation. I hope that you enjoy it and you learned something new today. Thank you so much. Bye bye.